Hi everybody, and welcome to session number 7, or week 2, day 2 of persuasive and opinion writing. So over the next 4 days, we're going to develop our essays and we're going to focus on strengthening different parts of our essays to try to make them as persuasive as possible. So something that we know about persuasive and opinion pieces are that the author gives a clear statement of their opinion very early on in the piece. This is what we talked about a little bit last week, and we're going to zoom in on this week. And what you wrote yesterday could be the part of your essay where you state your opinion. So it's also it's a good practice for writers to hook in their reader. We talked about this a lot when we were writing our personal narrative pieces. So you want to have a nice, strong opening that grabs your reader's attention. And one way that we can do that is by asking a question. So I want to look back at our bikes essay from yesterday. And I know that this author started their essay with a question. It says, "What do you think when you see a kid riding a bike without a helmet?" And that gets you thinking. As a reader, I'm now thinking, what do I think if I see a kid riding a bike without a helmet? And honestly, it's kind of a shocking thought. I rarely see kids riding bikes without helmets. So that's something that would startle me. And then the author here answers their own question. They say, "Well, I think riding a bike without a helmet is dangerous and people should wear a helmet every time they ride a bike." That is their whole introduction. It is only 2 sentences. That's all you need. If you wanted to write more, of course you could. But it's clear. There's a question and an answer. They hooked their reader in with an interesting question, and then they answered it by stating their opinion. So why do you think that a question is a good way to start a persuasive opinion essay? Go ahead and pause. Some of your potential answers might have been to help you wonder why the author is asking the question, or maybe it's just interesting. It's more interesting than saying, "I think people should wear a bike helmet." So if you wanted to start your essay with a question and then state your opinion as an answer, how might you do that for your own topic? You can either answer this question out loud or you can write it down. So if you were to start an essay with a question, how might you do it? Go ahead and pause. Some examples of this might have been, "What's the most exciting sport? It's baseball." Or, "Should kids be able to vote for president in our country? I vote yes." Or, "Should parents put a time limit on how long their kids can play video games? Yes, because like most kids, once I start playing, I can't stop." Interesting. I wonder what yours were. If you share yours with me, I would love to look if you're working on Office 365. So I need to take a moment here to try to flip through and find last week's essays, because I need to refer back to it. So we are going to look back at last week's essays of "Bugs Are Creepy," and we might look at more after that. So I want to go back. If you want to pull a copy of this up, you can, but we're not going to look at it for too long. So the opening sentence in "Bugs Are Creepy" is this: "I think that bugs are creepy, gross, and annoying. I don't like them. In fact, I hate them." Once again, 2 sentences as their opening. So why do you think that the author used this as their opening? What type of tools were they using to keep their reader interested? Pause. Honestly, my opinion and why they used that, I think that they were trying to evoke a strong emotion. They were trying to hook their reader in by using strong words and strong emotions. They even said the word hate. They hate bugs. And they use the words creepy, gross, and annoying. At least for me, when I hear creepy, gross, and annoying, those words themselves just make my skin crawl. So they made sure to use words that were really descriptive, that they knew would have a strong impact on the reader. And then in Insects Are Amazing, if you want to pull that up, you're totally welcome to pause and pull it up. But this person has about 4 sentences in their introduction, so it's a little bit longer, which could be more persuasive, but let's find out. I don't like when people call insects bugs. That means that they bug them. Insects don't bug me. I actually think they're amazing. They're cool to watch, fun to play with, and interesting to learn about. So why do you think that this author decided to start their persuasive piece that way? You can pause. So something that I noticed that this author did is they kind of made a pun. They did a play on words because they said that means that they bug them. So they tried to pull a little bit of humor and joking into their introduction, and they also used that as an opportunity to clearly state their opinion. So what I want you to do today is think about how you plan on opening your persuasive and opinion piece. You might be going back and revising how you stated your opinion from yesterday. You might be just adding 2 things together. Maybe you know for sure you want to do a question. That's great. I would like you to write 2 or 3 interesting openings for your persuasive and opinion piece, and then choose one. So that doesn't mean that you write one down that's really good and you know when you want to use it, and then you write one down that's really lousy just because I said to write 2. I really want you to thoughtfully write down 2 options, at least 2. If you want to write more, that's great. This should take you about 15 to 20 minutes, because remember, the opening is the most important part. If someone comes to read your essay and that first part is super boring, are they going to want to keep going? Probably not. So make sure that you spend your time and you actually thoughtfully decide how you want to open your essay. Think about what would interest your audience. Maybe consider your audience too. If you're writing to me, you might not be using the same words as if you're writing to one of your classmates. So today during writing time, you've got some options. You're going to work on your persuasive essay. You're going to revise your opening sentences to get your reader interested. And you're going to make sure that you state your opinion clearly in those first few sentences. Then you can give reasons that support your opinion and start working on the next paragraphs. All right, good luck. Happy writing.